According to the Environmental Protection Agency, only 9% of all plastics ever created have actually been recycled. The US uses 2.5 million plastic bottles every hour, and the Ellen MacArthur Foundation estimates that by 2050, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. So is recycling the solution, or is it the problem? Let's find out. Recycling is a word that most of the world associates with sustainability. I asked several people what was the first word that came to your mind when I said environmentally friendly, and they all responded with recycling.
Hello.
What's the first word that comes to mind when I say environmentally friendly?
Recycling?
Okay, that's all. What's the first word that comes to your mind when I say environmentally friendly?
You.
Okay, after that.
Like recycling? Like
Yeah.
things that are recycled?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Recycling. I guess so.
Okay, we're doing this one via text message. What's the first word that comes to mind when I say environmentally friendly? Oh, she did this in the opposite order, but okay, we got it. All right. When I say the words environmentally friendly, what's the first word that comes to your mind?
Shelbizleee on YouTube.
Everybody be saying that. Next.
Recycling. Was that good?
Okay, yes, great. Why is it that so many people, when they think of something being environmentally friendly, they first think of recycling? This is for a very specific reason, and it's because recycling has been marketed as the way to live your life with all of the conveniences of plastic, but without having to take any responsibility or make any changes to your lifestyle, apart from separating your recycling, of course. And don't get me wrong, the recycling system is broken, and you and I are not to blame, nor can we fix it ourselves. But thanks to marketing, recycling has been seen as a solution for so long that we can ignore all of the other R's that we were taught to come first. Remember reduce and reuse? Why would marketing want us to forget about these other two, reduce and reuse? Well, because when you reduce what you purchase or you reuse something you already have, it hurts their bottom line. In the 50s, many companies made a shift from providing repairs and refills to creating cheaper items that could simply be recycled. And why did they want to make this shift? There's a very simple answer, and that is money. By selling the consumer the convenience without any of the guilt, they were able to sell much more product at a much faster rate. Take a look at this ad from the 1990s.
The bottle may look empty, yet it's anything but trash. It's full of potential. And at DuPont, we're making sure that the potential isn't thrown away. We've pioneered the country's largest, most comprehensive plastic recycling program to help plastic fill valuable uses and roles instead of filling valuable land. At DuPont, we make the things that make a difference.
Now, I think we all know that companies like Dow, Chevron, DuPont are not recycling companies, but do you know what they are? Fossil fuel companies. Do you know what plastic is made from? You guessed it, fossil fuels. Ads like these were paid for by companies like that and their lobbying and trade organizations in Washington who knew plastic recycling would never be a large-scale solution. We now know this because many of the industry's old documents are housed in libraries, and specifically at Syracuse University, there are boxes of files from a former industry consultant written in April of 1973 exposing that the companies running these ads knew they were manipulating the public with their level 100 greenwashing. With all of this manipulation happening, the marketing ploy turned our entire culture into a disposable one, with that one word, recycling, always lingering as a solution to our new lifestyle. But we know now this is absolutely not the case, as our oceans are filling with plastic, animals are dying, and our landfills are filling up faster than ever. So here are some of the biggest problems with our current recycling system. I absolutely think that when we talk about any system or any product and its environmental impact, it is important to take the full life cycle into account. And so the first problem with plastic recycling and with relying on recycling in general is that the materials themselves are made from petroleum. The behind the scenes issues with petroleum are inevitable if we continue to consume plastic at the rate that we do. Ocean drilling causes a ton of issues within the ecosystems of those environments. It has health impacts on the people who live on this earth in terms of who live near drilling sites and things like that. And obviously the increase in production of these items contributes to greenhouse gases, which is contributing to climate change, which is contributing to loss of biodiversity all across the globe, and so many other detrimental effects from climate change. If you don't have a lot of knowledge on how recycling works, you may think that you can recycle a plastic bottle over and over and over again and turn it into another plastic bottle, but that would be incorrect. A plastic bottle can actually only be recycled 10 times at best, and at worst, we know where they're ending up, in our oceans and in our landfills. But according to most experts that I've read from, this is a very generous number, and most plastics can only be recycled 1 or 2 times. This is because each time a plastic is recycled, it reduces the plastic's integrity. So call me dense, but I wouldn't call this recycling, I'd call it more downcycling. Because plastic degrades in quality when recycled, even when things do contain plastic that is from recycled material, it needs virgin plastic to be added to have a decent, stable quality. This means that even if we recycled every piece of plastic ever created, we would still depend on new petroleum-based plastics. Because of all of these issues, recycled plastic is not valuable enough to be a viable option in the market. It is almost always less expensive and better quality to just start fresh with virgin plastic, and it costs less to make new plastic than it does to recover all of that plastic and recycle it to turn it into a new, lower quality product. One of the biggest obstacles when it comes to recycling is contamination, and this is largely due to the lack of education around recycling and people who are doing it incorrectly. There are multiple levels of contamination, but one of the ways that this happens is throwing different types of plastics that are not recyclable in with the ones that are. There are so many different types of plastic now that your curbside recycling may be taking 1 or 2 of these types, but you're throwing in all of these different ones, and that is contaminating the entire batch. So there's one form of contamination that includes other materials that are not recyclable, but there's another type of contamination which includes things like food waste, oils, greases, liquids, all of those things that can be on your recyclable materials, but with those things on the recycling, it is impossible to get them clean enough to actually recycle them and turn them into new items. Because of all of these factors, most of the recycling that happens in the United States does not happen within the country, but we have been exporting most of those materials to China. But in 2017, China closed their doors to accepting the US's recycling, sending the country into a frenzy. China's action came after many recycling programs has transitioned from requiring consumers to separate paper, plastics, cans, bottles to today's more common single-stream system where it all goes into the same blue bin. As a result, contamination from food and waste has risen, leaving significant amounts unusable. In addition, plastic packaging has become increasingly complex, with colors, additives, multi-layers, mixing compositions, making it even more difficult to recycle. China has now cut off imports of all but the cleanest and highest grade materials, imposing a 99.5% purity standard that most exporters found all but impossible to meet. This would mean that the contamination rate was only able to be 0.5%, which again is nearly impossible. So I can't leave you off with all of that without going over any solutions. My first solution would be obviously education. As we've seen throughout this video, contamination is a huge threat to the recycling system itself. And I think this comes a lot from the individualism of the United States and people being so concerned about their own lives, too much to be concerned with what's going on in the rest of the world, and particularly with the environment. So I think we need more education systems, more money put into that, resources put into that from cities and towns and all that sort of thing to educate people on how to recycle and why it's so important. I think that could make a huge difference. The second thing I think we need better and more of are MRF facilities. These are materials recovery facilities, which is basically the sorting of the items so that we would be able to separate the different types of plastics, also including things like paper, aluminum, all that sort of stuff. We'd be able to sort it at a much better rate that would reduce the contamination of materials. And I also think something that is super important and obviously we have to hit on is to start taking more advantage of reduce and reuse. As I outlined in the beginning, it definitely seems like the shift towards only focusing on recycling was marketed to us by a bunch of companies and also came along with the added convenience that we saw happen in the shift over the 1950s. So this is something that you can do on the consumer level in reducing the amount of packaging that you're buying, reusing the packaging that you are buying. I definitely think that is something that we can be doing on a consumer, personal, individual level. Encourage our politicians to impose what is called a plastic tax. So essentially telling companies that if they're going to be producing these items, they're going to be charged for it because it inevitably ends up in someone having to pay for those things to either be thrown away, which for some reason you and I are paying for right now with our trash costs. Someone's going to have to pay for it to be recycled, or someone's going to have to pay for it to be cleaned up out of the environment. And those plastics are wreaking havoc all across the food chain at all different levels, from microplastics all the way up to drinking water for humans. A plastic tax would give us money to be able to solve those problems if the companies themselves are not going to take action within their own supply chain. As I mentioned throughout this video, plastic as it currently stands, recycled plastic, is not valuable. It is cheaper and easier and better quality to make things from virgin plastics. But if people in the market start seeing people demanding that brands use recycled plastic, it will create a demand and create more value within the market to make it a more viable option worldwide. In the UK, they are now requiring that all producers of plastic use 30% recycled content in their materials, or there will be an import tax. There's some sort of tax put on materials that are made from only virgin plastics. Writing to giant corporations and also companies that we look to, even if they're small businesses, and telling them that we want to see less plastic in their packaging, because as the recycling system currently stands, it is not helpful and it's not working. So we cannot just rely on the recycling system for these people to inevitably and endlessly be producing plastic. We should be writing to companies and encouraging them to make shifts in this, to incorporate recycled plastics, to find new solutions to single-use virgin plastics, and telling them that we want to see it. And lastly, we can create a circular economy. It's definitely so much easier said than done, right? But this is what the zero waste movement is all about, is creating an economy where it's no longer a producer produces something made from a new material for you or I to use for a short period of time and then throw it away, or, you know, in quotes, recycle it. This is also in line with something called producer responsibility, and this can be done either through policy, enacting laws that say that the producer has to take responsibility for their packaging, or it can also be enacted by the companies themselves taking responsibility for their packaging without having to be told to do so by the government. We see this in several different companies, companies that I personally support that take back and refill their own packaging, but that is the inevitable real solution at the roots, is for companies, governments, and consumers to all work together to create an economy that is not dependent on single-use plastics. So that is all I had for you today. I wanted to make a very concise video explaining to you guys what is wrong with recycling, why it is broken, and you can send this to your friends and family, and also offer some solutions and things that we can fight for on a consumer level, but also beyond ourselves in terms of voting, writing to companies, holding politicians accountable, etc. So I hope you liked it. Like I said, please do make sure to send this on to any friends and family that you think this could be helpful to. And remember, until next time, you cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. Bye, guys.